How to add text in Adobe Premiere Pro. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the channel. I'm going to run through the process today of adding text to your video footage in the program Adobe Premiere Pro, which is a video editing tool, and then I'm going to show you all the things that you can do with your text. So we're going to go ahead now, and you can see over here in the bottom of the page in the middle, there is an icon that looks like a T, and that is the type tool. Now you're going to click on that and it'll highlight it in blue, and there are two things that you can do now. You can either click down and drag and open up a text box, or you can just click your actual footage and you will have a text box. So you can now start typing. And as you can see now, the text is a little bit off of the video and it is too big. So what we can do now is actually move it around. So we're going to go now again to this toolbar panel where you found your text tool, and we're going to look for the selection tool, which is just an arrow. We're going to now click down on the text, and we can now change the actual position of it. And by using the dots or the markers in the corners of the text box, you can actually change the size of it as well. So once that is done, you're going to go ahead and we are going to add another window. So once we've done that, we're going to go over to the left hand side where we have our effects control, and we can see just on the left hand side there is a text box also. So we can see now that our text has been added over here, and we can now go ahead and we can start defining everything about the text. So we're going to go back now to the effects control, and you can see over here it says text, and it tells you what the text is, and right on the left hand side there is an arrow and there's a drop down. So right over here you can start defining everything about your text. So you can see over here that there is the actual text itself, and then there is the font style, and we can change that font style over here. Just make sure that you are actually having your text selected. You can go ahead and you can now make those changes. So let's say, for example, we'd like that text style, and you can see that it is now a lot larger. So we can go down now and we can also change the font style, and we can go down now and we can actually change the size over here. So we can just make it, say, 45, and then you have the alignment. So you can align it to the left, you can align it center, and then you can also align it to the right. You can also align to top, center, and bottom. And then we have some additional text styles over here. We can make it bold, we can make it italic, all caps, small, and caps. We can superscript, subscript, and then we can underline it. We can also put markers in between or in the beginning of the text, and then you can change the spacing of the actual letters as well as the lines if you have more than one line of text. You can see now that the appearance of the text is over here. We can change the color, so there is a fill effect. You can change the color of the text right over here. So if we say we're going to make it red, we can say OK. The stroke is basically an outline, and just make sure that the box is actually checked. And you can see here that there is a number. You can now click on that and you can make that number whatever it is that you'd like. You can see now that that stroke is larger than the actual text itself. But if you would like to make it just the outline of the text, you can go ahead with a smaller number. You can also see over here on the right hand side it says outer, and you can click on that, and now you can define where the actual marker or the stroke is. So you can say inner, and it'll change that marker to the inside of the text. You also have a background that you can add on here. Right now you can go ahead and we can say, let's say we want to make it yellow. We can go ahead now, make that yellow, and say OK. And you can see that the opacity is at 75. You can redefine that over there. You can also change the size of the actual background or the box that is behind it. And then you can also change the roundness of the corners. So if you want it really sharp, you'll have to put it on 1. And if you want it really, really round, you'll have to go and bump it up all the way to 100. You can also create a shadow on the text, and you can just make sure that the marker is checked. and then you can change the color. So let's say perhaps we want to make it green so we can actually see what is happening here. And again, we want to make sure that the amount and the angle of the offset, you can change that, you can define that, you can also define the intensity of it, and then of course you can define how much blur it has on. You can also mask with your text, and there are some other settings over here that you can change, such as the position and the scale if you have not yet done it over here in your actual video. You also have the option to change the angle, so you can change the rotation over here. So perhaps we want to make it 45 degrees. We can tap on enter. You can see now that's what it looks like. You can also change now how it actually comes in and out of your screen. So, instead of your text just appearing on the screen, you can now change how it actually appears. So this is now in the motion section of your effects control. You can see here that there's a position as well as a scale, and then you can change the rotation and the way that it comes in over there. Also, the opacity of the text itself. You also have a blend mode, which is great. You can actually blend this text with the background over here. So if you go around and you look for overlay, you can actually see the video footage through the actual text. And then you have the time remapping, so you can change that speed over there, and that basically is how the actual text comes in and out. There we go, folks. If you're looking to add some text to your video footage in Adobe Premiere Pro, this is a great way to do it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to drop us a like. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in another awesome video. Cheerio for now.